I was holding my baby when I accidentally tripped. The child flew out of my arms and landed perfectly in the hands of the CEO. The old madam caught sight of the red birthmark on the baby's shoulder, her face filled with shock. She said it was exactly the same as the one the CEO had. She instantly declared that this child was her biological grandson. Before the CEO could react, I quickly grabbed the baby back into my arms, but the old madam had already yanked a strand of the CEO's hair and took a strand of my baby's too, for a DNA test. Not long after the assistant came back with the test results, the old madam opened the envelope and was shocked to see the baby was truly the CEO's biological child. The CEO was completely stunned. He had no idea when he became a father, but the old madam was so overwhelmed with joy because the family line was thin and this child was now their only heir at that moment. The CEO remembered that a year ago, he had been set up and spent a night with me, so he confirmed the child was mine. He immediately told his assistant to investigate everything about me. Coincidentally, that same day I was out delivering food with my baby, and I happened to arrive at the CEO's company. Just as I walked in, a scheming woman stopped me. She insulted me and even shoved me to the floor. Thankfully, the CEO appeared. He coldly reprimanded the woman. I quickly picked up my child and left, but as I turned away, the CEO stared at my back, thinking I looked just like the woman from that night, so he immediately called for his assistant and ordered him to hire me as his personal assistant. Soon after the assistant found me and explained the CEO's offer, I was stunned, reflexively declined. But when he mentioned the salary was $30,000 a month, I hesitated for a moment, then agreed, to my surprise. The assistant also said, as long as it didn't affect my work, I could bring my child with me. The next day, I arrived at the company with my baby. Everyone adored her. The atmosphere was warm and friendly, except for that scheming woman who looked very unhappy when she saw us. She mocked me, said I came from a poor background, and was using my child to cling to the CEO. My daughter burst into tears upon hearing that. I quickly comforted her, explained that she had a congenital heart condition and couldn't handle strong fragrances. The woman's eyes shifted and a wicked idea formed in her mind. At noon, I went to make milk for the baby. A colleague rushed, over-panicked, and said the baby had fainted. Terrified, I grabbed my child and ran to the hospital. The CEO also heard the news and rushed over immediately. The doctor said the baby needed an emergency blood transfusion, but the hospital was short on her rare panda blood type. The intercom urgently called for volunteers. Without hesitation, the CEO rolled up his sleeve, but the nurse stopped him and quietly reminded direct blood relatives couldn't donate to the baby. The CEO froze in that moment. He finally realized the baby was his own daughter. He rushed into the ward, but found it empty. My daughter and I were gone because just moments before, my uncle's family had arrived at the hospital, pretending to comfort me. But in truth, they wanted to squeeze the last bit of money out of me and planned to marry me off to a single man in the village. The CEO chased down to the parking lot, anxiously asked the driver if he had seen a woman holding a baby, but my uncle quickly covered my mouth, lied and said we weren't here. Told the driver to hurry and leave. The CEO could only watch helplessly as the van drove away. They dragged me back to the village. The single man took one look at the baby.